Quilts are the answer for a lot of people in order to have a more comfortable sleep when camping and backpacking. They allow you to toss and turn without getting tangled up and make regulating temperature a lot easier. But this isn't your grandma's quilt. It's specifically designed in order to work with sleeping pads and to be lightweight and packable. If you want to start using a quilt but don't want to spend a fortune, then I highly recommend you stick around as we review the Hammock Gear Economy Burrow quilt. I have here the regular wide version rated 20 degrees Fahrenheit with a sewn foot box and the ground attachment system option, and it costs $228 US. For comparison, the cheapest spec 20 degree Fahrenheit quilt from Enlightened Equipment would cost almost $100 more. I'll have a link in the video description to Hammock Gear's website so you can check it out, spec out the quilt that you want, and see how much it would cost for you. There's some great features with the Hammock Gear Economy Burrow that you wouldn't expect with an affordable option like this. And those features help make this quilt a lot warmer compared to some other budget options out there. And that's the primary purpose of a quilt. It's supposed to keep you warm. First of all, you have vertical baffles at the top end of the quilt and then horizontal baffles at the foot end. And what that different baffle orientation helps with is preventing down migration. If you had horizontal baffles on the top here, you'd likely have the down migrating to the sides and then you'd have cold spots on top of you. As well, being able to have a sewn foot box option here, so you can have a foot box that's fully enclosed like we have here, or you can get an option with a zipper that goes down the middle if you like to open it up and use it more like a blanket. I prefer closed foot boxes and recommend getting a closed foot box if you're getting a quilt for any temperatures below freezing. As well, the quilt has some good features at the head end. So there's an extra buckle right here that you can do up to really lock in the top of the quilt. And then there's a snap right at the neck here. So you do this up around your neck, and then you use this next feature, which kind of cinches everything up and locks in the heat. And that's this little cinch that closes up the head end here and prevents heat from getting out around your neck and shoulders. The quilt weighs 740 grams on my scale, which is very lightweight, and there's a couple reasons why the quilt is so light. First of all, if you're not familiar with quilts, they're not like sleeping bags in that they don't have a bottom to them. So you sleep directly on the sleeping pad, and you don't have a zipper or extra material that you're going to be laying on that would add weight to the quilt. The Economy Burrow quilts are made with a 20 denier nylon taffeta, which is a pretty lightweight material, but also very durable, which is great for people just getting into backpacking or for those who aren't great at taking care of their gear. The insulation inside the quilt is 800 Powerfill duck down and is Responsible Down Standard certified down, which is awesome from a sustainability and ethics standpoint. The down inside of here also has a hydrophobic treatment, which means it's going to perform better in moist and humid environments compared to a down product that doesn't have that treatment. 800 Powerfill down is awesome for an affordable product like the Economy Burrow. Usually in affordable quilts and sleeping bags, you'd be seeing down that's 650 or 750 Powerfill. From a warmth perspective, I found the 20 degree rating for this quilt to be accurate. I've used it below freezing with just thin merino wool base layers on and been plenty toasty. It uses 2.5 inch thick box baffles in order to provide the loft, which is the height of the quilt, and that height is what gives you the warmth. 2.5 inches for box baffles is pretty much standard for 20 degree quilts across the board from other major manufacturers as well. Like with sleeping bags, you need to have an appropriately rated sleeping pad in order to maximize the effectiveness of your top insulation like a quilt or a sleeping bag. I have here the Nemo Tensor rated to 4.2 R value, which is great if you are going down to 20 degrees Fahrenheit. If you want to maximize the warmth of a quilt, I highly recommend getting the ground attachment system. And what that entails is you get these two straps that go around your sleeping pad, and then they have buckles on either side. And you take the buckles that are on the quilt, you attach them to the pad straps, and then what that does is that it really locks the quilt onto the sleeping pad and prevents drafts and cold spots from getting inside the quilt. Between these pad straps and then the neck button and cinch up at the top here, you can really lock this quilt down and stay nice and warm. And what's really nice with the Economy Burrow is that the buckles for the pad strap are really flush with the pad, and that prevents any sort of drafts coming in as you toss and turn. As well, the buckles on the pad straps are adjustable, so you can have them closer to the outside like I have them right now, which is really nice for tossing and turning. Or if you want more of a sleeping bag experience, you can move them more to the inside of the pad and then lock them in so it's more wrapped around you like a cocoon. And while there's a lot to love about the Economy Burrow quilt, there are some bad things about it. Not super bad, but first we have the neck cinch here. When you have it fully cinched down, this cord is really long and can get tangled up inside your arms and stuff as you're tossing and turning. As well, it's not as packable or lightweight as a quilt that would use a higher power fill down or a lower denier shell fabric. That being said, there are trade-offs with that, one of them being price. The biggest downside with the economy burrow is that there's usually a 5 to 6 week lead time in order for Hammock Gear to custom make your quilt for you. Sometimes they have some in-stock options, but that's quite rare because the quilts are in such high demand. So if you are going to be buying an economy burrow, make sure you are giving yourself a couple months for it to arrive at your door. If you click the link in the video description, you're not sure what quilt options you want to choose, go check out this video. I go over all the specifications and options that you can get with quilts with the goal of helping you guys make sure that you're picking the best quilt for you and the conditions that you're going backpacking and camping in.